Hello and welcome to News Now. I am Fidelia Aguncha. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) is accusing INEC of bias and being under the control of the All Progressives Congress by declaring governorship elections in 6 states inconclusive. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja, spokesperson of the party, Kola Ologbadiyan, said the commission carried out the action in states where the PDP was in a clear lead. The party also passed a vote of no confidence on INEC chairman Mahmood Yakubu, saying the commission has become clearly partisan under his leadership. The governorship election in Kano, Benue, Bauchi, Sokoto, Adamawa and Plateau State have been declared inconclusive by INEC on reasons that the margin of lead between the two leading parties was not enough to declare a winner. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has released a comprehensive list of senators-elect who will make up the 9th National Assembly. In a statement, INEC announced that it would present certificate of return to those whose names are on the list on Thursday, March 14. However, some names were omitted from the list, which had a provision for 109 slots. The electoral body also provided reasons for the omission of some names. One of those omitted is Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha, who won the election for Imo West Senatorial District. According to INEC, the governor's name was left out over the allegation that the returning officer declared him the winner under duress. On the list, the All Progressives Congress has 62 slots, while the People's Democratic Party trails with 37 seats, and the Young Progressive Party (YPP) has 1 slot. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed happiness over the majority of the All Progressives Congress in the Senate. The president, while hosting his schoolmates led by Senator Abba Ali, said he is looking forward to a mutual and effective working relationship with the 9th National Assembly towards improving the budgetary process and restoring the country to the January-December fiscal cycle. Buhari stressed that with an APC majority in the Senate, there will be effective implementation of national budget, transparency, and accountability. The Nigerian Senate will begin deliberations on the 2019 budget on March 13, 2019. Senate President Bukola Saraki made the announcement at the resumption of legislative proceedings for the week. President Muhammadu Buhari had in December presented the 2019 budget proposal to a joint session of the National Assembly. According to the President, the 8.83 trillion naira budget proposal is intended to further place the economy on the path of inclusive, diversified and sustainable growth. President Muhammadu Buhari has met with some governors of the All Progressives Congress in Abuja. The meeting started shortly after the president arrived Abuja from his hometown Daura in Katsina State, where he went to participate in the governorship and state assembly elections. The governors were led by chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum, Abdulaziz Yari of Zamfara State. Other governors on the delegation include Kashim Shatima of Borno State, Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State, and Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State. Others are Badaru Abubakar of Jigawa State, Yahaya Bello of Kogi State, and Governor Atiku Bagudu of Kebbi State. The candidate of the Action Alliance, Uche Nwosu, has rejected the result of the governorship election conducted in Imo State, vowing to challenge it in court. Nwosu, who polled 190,364 votes, lost to the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Emeka Ihedioha, who polled 273,404 votes, while the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Hope Uzodinma, came in third with 96,458 votes. Nwosu has now rejected the results, saying he has been robbed of his mandate and will seek redress in court. Well, still on the just concluded elections, the Coalition for Change and Transparency, CCT, has accused the United Kingdom of sponsoring fake news against the military in Rivers State and other parts of the South-South region. The non-governmental organization said the UK government has an unholy relationship with the opposition party in Nigeria, that's the PDP, and the aim is to discredit the military by accusing it of interfering with the electoral process in the country.
A specific culprit is the United Kingdom, which based its assessment of the election of fake news about the military beating staffs of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), effectively exploited the fake news that it had trained the cyber operatives of the opposition to produce. The Nigerian military even had to alert members of the public to the worrisome situation of the unscrupulous politicians giving military uniform to armed thugs. The implication of this is that people are likely to blame the military for crime military never committed. By thugs using military uniform, people will think that military personnel are the one carrying out this dastardly act. And on this, Nigerian military needs commendation. Nigerian military needs to be encouraged, not few individuals coming together to tag Nigerian military in a bad manner for the international community to be seen. The CCT hereby asks the United Kingdom High Commission in Nigeria to retract the offensive tweets and apologize for willfully attempting to incite violence in Nigeria through the promotion of fake news.
The Kaduna State Police Command has dismissed reports of attacks and insecurity on the Kaduna-Abuja road. Speaking to journalists, the State Police Commissioner, Austin Iwa, assured travelers of safety, saying adequate security has been provided by the police on the road. He called on those spreading false news of insecurity and violence to desist from such acts.
So I want to seize this opportunity to say, what prompted me to even address you now was that I have received telephone calls from prominent Nigerians and elders of Kaduna saying that we should do a lot of things. I told them I have, in fact, yesterday I stationed 3 patrol vehicles of Operation Yaki to be flying from Goningora flyover up to Kakao and Regina. Then I asked all the DPOs along the axis, especially DPO Regina, DPO Katari, and DPO Jere, plus DPO Tafa. That was my last station to Abuja. There was nothing happening. In fact, the people plying the road were very secured and nobody was under any threat. So I want to seize this opportunity to appeal to these people that are, peddling such rumors, to desist from doing so because it does no one good.
Still on security matters, the Nigerian Air Force says it has killed scores of insurgents belonging to the Islamic State of West Africa province in Tumbum Alora areas of Lake Chad in Borno State. Air Force spokesperson Air Commodore Ibikunle Daramola said the attacks was carried out by the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Adole. Ibikunle noted that the operation took place on Friday on the heels of intelligence reports indicating the presence of ISWAP fighters hiding in the area. He says following the information, an Alpha jet supported by an intelligence surveillance and reconnaissance platform was dispatched to raid the terrorist hideouts. The Nigerian government has allayed fears of citizens, confirming that no Boeing 737 MAX 8 aircraft is in Nigeria's aviation register. The Minister of State for Aviation, Hadi Sirika, gave the assurance in a statement against the backdrop of the unfortunate crash of the Ethiopian airline on Sunday, which killed the 157 people on board. While acknowledging that any accident anywhere is a tragedy to the global aviation industry, the minister said the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority has issued the necessary advisory as it relates to the country. 2 Nigerians, Pius Adesomi and Abiodun Bashra, were among the 149 passengers on board the plane. At least nationals of about 35 countries were involved in the disaster. Now to the judiciary. The trial of the suspended Chief Justice of Nigeria, Walter Onoyen, has been adjourned till March 18, 2019. The case was adjourned following Onoyen's absence in court on health grounds. At the resumed hearing on Tuesday, counsel to the former CJN, Adegboyega Awomolo, tendered a letter from his client explaining that he developed issues with his tooth and could not make it to the court. The prosecutor, on the other hand, Aliyu Umar, said he had also received a copy of the letter as well as a medical report indicating that Onoyen had a high blood pressure. According to the letter, Onoyen was given 72 hours of bed rest. Having considered the situation, the chairman of the tribunal then adjourned the case till that date. Well, power supply in Nigeria will soon improve dramatically, with about 70 megawatts to be added to the national grid by the Ministry of Water Resources through the Gurara Kashimbila Dam project. Well, this was revealed by the Minister of Water Resources, Suleiman Adamu, in Abuja on Tuesday at a workshop for media on enlightenment of the public of water sector activities. Judicial tells us more.
The Kashimbila Hydropower Dam in Taraba State and the Gurara Dam in Kaduna State will both provide 70 megawatts of electricity to the national grid soon. Work has been concluded on both dams as the federal government prepares to complete decisions on critical area of running and maintenance of both dams before being put to use. The Minister for Water Resources, Suleiman Adamu, says government will not concession the dam but the aquatic life of the project.
We are not concessioning any dam. When we concession, we can concession the hydropower component of the dam, but the dam will still be owned by the federal government. All we do, we provide some leasing arrangement for cage fish farming. Those are the kind of things we can do. We concession hydropower, we concession for aquaculture. We have concluded on the matter of Gurara. You know, we have a 30 megawatt hydropower plant there. All the processes leading to the concession have been completed. It's now a matter of presenting to the Federal Executive Council for approval. Of course, we still have to wait because the transmission line is still not ready, and that is not within the purview of the ministry. It is being undertaken by the TCN, Transmission Company of Nigeria, but a lot of progress has been made, and we hope that by the end of this year something will happen. Then we have the 40 megawatt Kashimbila hydropower plant, which is also ready. Again, we are also waiting for the transmission line to be completed, but we have started the process of concessioning. We have appointed, I think we have appointed a transaction advisor, and hopefully by next year we should be able to concession that one as well.
The minister says government is also not impressed with the slow rate at which Nigerians are putting an end to open defecation. He, however, called for efforts by both state and local governments to complement the efforts of the federal government in ensuring that the practice of open defecation is stopped totally by 2025.
That I'm not particularly impressed. We launched the ODF roadmap, that's Open Defecation Free Campaign Roadmap, in 2016. Well, by 2017, we had the first local government in Nigeria that is totally open defecation free, Obaliku local government. At that time, I said, out of 774 local governments, we have only one. This is scandalous. But what I also appreciate is that there are thousands of communities that are open defecation free in the country. And since that first local government, we now have about 10. But our target is to end open defecation in Nigeria by 2025. And if we are going at this rate, that in 2 years we will only be able to do 10 local governments, then I think there is a problem. And that is why we have decided to borrow the model of India, who have been able to, we have just 47 million people. India has like 500 million people, or had like 500 million people practicing open defecation. By November this year, they want to reduce it to 0. Within 4 years, they are able to bring about 500 million people out of open defecation. If they can do that in 4 years, why can't we be able to, reduce this figure or eliminate the 47 million people that we have that we can eliminate the number by making sure we have a more rigorous campaign, and that's what we are going to do.
The federal government recently declared an emergency in water provision and sanitation with a plan to put an end to open defecation in all 774 local governments in the next 6 years. Judicial, TV360, Nigeria.
You have been watching news now on TV360 Nigeria. We'll take a short break here and return soon. Don't go away.
Corruption not in my country. Madam. Madam, welcome. Okay, madam, no worry. When you deliver the balance, we'll give you the goods.
No problem, no problem. All right, so now well done.
Thank you.
Hey. Oga, I still say she don't bring money. Maybe we'll use this one for him now.
She wants mahogany, not white wood.
Oga, our work now to join wood together, deliver whatever to customer. Put the remaining profit for pocket.
Abba, this is corruption, not in my country. Corruption, not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Welcome back. Well, let's now join Oyin Adekunle for the latest in business. Hello, Oyin.
Hi, Fidelia.
So, people have been reacting to the Forex ban on textile importation, actually. Could you tell us more about this?
You're very correct, Annetta. The recent remark is coming from the Director General of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Segun Kadiri, who has thrown his weight behind the Central Bank of Nigeria's decision to ban the sale of Forex to importers of textile and other clothing materials into the country. Kadiri, while speaking with TV360 Nigeria, said this development will ensure job creation in the country as well as encourage the production of locally made products.
The first reaction is that it's a positive one in the sense that it is set against the backdrop of promoting backward integration and local sourcing of raw materials, and at the same time trying to encourage the patronage of made in Nigerian products. If you make it, I mean, the simple way to put it is if you make foreign goods more expensive, the chances are that the local ones will be patronized. So it's positive in the sense that it supports the backward integration objective of government, and at the same time, the promotion of patronage of made in Nigerian products. And that is coming at this time that the textile industry is beset with quite a number of challenges. I think it is a positive one. When you incentivize an industry, you create an avenue for new investment in the industry, which means that we'll have many more firms that will obviously engage people. At the same time, those that are comatose are not doing well at the moment will be able to retool, be able to expand their capacity utilization. They will be able to engage more persons. Also, if you look at the value chain which is being supported, you will see that it will have a trickle-down effect on cotton growers and the ginneries as well. And upstream, you also have the garment makers. So essentially, you are going to see an improvement along the value chain, and each step of the way, you have people that are engaged. So it is right to say that it will improve the employment profile.
The Central Bank of Nigeria says it is set to conduct a primary market auction on Wednesday to roll over 89.5 billion naira worth of treasury bills maturing on Thursday. The CBN offered a total of 900 billion naira at the OMO auctions last week and successfully mopped up approximately 809 billion naira out of a 1.1x oversubscription of 945.3 billion naira. The medium-term bill had more interest as 800.8 billion naira was subscribed against the 570 billion naira offered. On the other hand, the short-term bill received mild attention with a total of 144.5 billion naira subscription against the 330 billion naira offered, depicting a 0.4x ratio. Oil prices rose on Tuesday, lifted by output cuts led by producer group OPEC, as well as healthy demand, although analysts said economic headwinds posed downside risks to crude markets. U.S. crude oil futures were at $56.99 per barrel, up 20 cents, while Brent crude futures were at $66.76 per barrel, up 18 cents. The gains comes on the back of comments by the Bank of America predicting that Brent prices would average $70 per barrel this year, while Brent crude will hit $59 per barrel in 2019. The U.S. bank said this was in part because of strong demand for marine diesel expected from next year as part of new fuel rules coming in place by the International Maritime Organization. Let's bring you stock markets report right after this break. Please don't go away. Market conditions have continued its weakening trend at the Nigeria Stock Exchange as trading activities entered the 5th consecutive day in the reds today. We see that a total of 219.369 million shares were traded, and that's up from 128.374 million traded in previous session. The value of trade also increased by around 541 million to close at 2.927 billion naira. This increase in volume and values of shares traded, however, was not enough to resuscitate the market from its downward spiral. At the close of trading today, we saw that the all-share index responded in the negative, down by 1.02%. The price losers today are Mobile, International Breweries, Guarantee Trust Bank, and Nascon Allied Industries PLC. International Breweries was in the reds yesterday, and it's dropping further by 9.93%. While Nascon had switched places despite being on the gainers chart yesterday, it is down today by 4.61%. We see that similarly, WAPCO is rebounding from loss recorded in previous trading session, making its first appearance this week on the gainers chart with a 4% rise in the value of stock. UACN, UCAP and Prudential PLC also managed to keep their heads above water with 7.14%, 4.13% and 2.50% increase respectively. Now on the global scene, we see that FTSE is up today by 0.29%. The Dow is falling by almost 150 points as shares of Boeing continue to struggle, and this is coming after countries including the UK, Australia, China, and a host of other countries grounded all flights involving the 737 MAX model after its second fatal crash, which happened on Sunday. Also, Nikkei index actually jumped up nearly 1.8% at 21.503 index. As we see, that's actually a 6-day high as investors welcomed news that Britain and European Union had agreed a revised Brexit deal. That's all on the stock market report today. It's back to you, Fidelia.
Well, thank you, Oyi, for that review of the stock market. It seems the Nigeria Stock Exchange is not recovering from losses we have seen in the past 4 days. Well, better luck for traders tomorrow, I hope. Yeah. We will be moving on to the foreign scene, but that will be after the short break. Don't go away.
Corruption not in my country. Daladi, my business has been going down. I need your help.
Bawahala. I will show you the formula. I use some bad chemical which I mix so produce the drugs which gives me up to 4 times profit. Imagine.
So you are one of the people that is killing millions and millions of Nigerians in this country. Daladi, was it not you last 2 months that was complaining about the fuel scarcity in this country, that the government is corrupt?
Have I killed anybody in your family?
You don't have to kill any of my family members directly. Every Nigerian you kill is my family. Selling of fake drugs, expired drugs, putting drugs in wrong packets, all that are acts of corruption. This is corruption, not in my country. CIA.
Me? Fake drug? Now corruption? Allah care.
Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
The UK Civil Aviation Authority has banned the Boeing 737 MAX from operating in or over UK airspace as a precautionary measure. The decision comes after an Ethiopian airline Boeing MAX 8 crashed on Sunday, killing everyone on board. Nationals from over 35 countries were killed in that crash. Now, the aircraft has also been banned in Malaysia, Singapore, China, and Australia. British Prime Minister Theresa May's Brexit deal suffered a major blow ahead of a historic vote on Tuesday when her chief attorney ruled that risk from its most contentious point remained unchanged. Failure to agree could spark economic chaos if Britain crashes out of the European Union without a deal on the scheduled departure date of March 29 after 46 years in the bloc. May had dashed off to Strasbourg on Monday for a last-gasp bid to wrest concession from EU leaders ahead of Tuesday's parliamentary vote on Britain's planned split from the bloc in just 17 days. The British leader announced after the negotiations that she had secured the legally binding changes to the vexing issue of the Irish border that lawmakers had long sought. Popular jersey designer Nike has revealed home and away kits for 14 of the 24 teams who will be fighting for glory in the 18th edition of the Women's World Cup this summer. At a global launch event in Paris on Monday, Nike revealed home and away kits for 14 of the 24 teams who will fight for Glory Cup in June, including Nigeria, England, Brazil, France, and 2015 winner USA. It's the first time ever that national kits have been designed exclusively for women's football teams who have in the past won the same as their male counterparts. Premier League club Manchester United have triggered an option in Andre Pereira's contract to extend the midfielder's deal by one more year. Pereira, who spent last season on loan at Valencia, has featured 8 times under caretaker manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer this season. He has benefited from the team's injury crisis, scoring his first Premier League goal in a 3-2 win over Southampton at Old Trafford earlier this month. And that's it on News Now. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I am Fidalia Aguncha. Thanks for watching.